Hi, guys. Oh, a start like it. That's weird. What's going on, guys? The time has come. I can't get away from saying that. I just can't. For the next episode of A Tale of Three Dragons, our Pathfinder Gestalt First Edition patron game with Ross and Tiki, two of the most amazing men on the face of the earth. Thank you guys so much for your service. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. We usually play this on Fantasy Grounds, but I had to go buy a new wireless card this morning, and I didn't realize how much that would cause Fantasy Grounds to be angry. So real quick, we're using Roll20 this time. But that's not the real question. The real question is, when I roll this d6, evens is Tarask, odds is Onru. Will it still come out? Yeah. Yeah, it will. Oh. The curse continues. Onru, betting character reflection for your hero point. Now that there's a very giant man riding on the boat with you.
I don't know what curse the voice in my head is speaking of. I'm just fast enough to alter the rolls. Anyway. Oh, God. Seriously. If this man is as strong as he is stupid, we will be unstoppable. That said, I really didn't have anything else to do with this dragon skin. I just wanted the skin. Or maybe the shell. The shell would have been real nice. Not that I'd wear it, but, you know, jewelry. No, that is just wrong. Could have made weaponry with it, but that would be wrong too. So I guess I'll make armor for this guy. Anyway, nothing else to really think about except getting there. I mean, it's not like I'm dying or anything. Oh, wait, I am. And yet, repeatedly, when we go to the place where we're supposed to get things fixed, they can't fix anything.
It's really disheartening.
This is my luck.
As your
This
luck.
is the same luck I've had since leaving the Underdark.
Fair enough. Take that hero point, Tarask, if you would.
All right. Well, so we found a big old crazy dude. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over him trying to copulate, for lack of a better word, with Enru. That was by far the worst thing he could think of in that situation. By far the worst. But yes, to kind of repeat my friend's indecisiveness, sort of. Nothing like constantly going to a new place only to be told that you should be able to get help there, only for you to not be able to receive help there. Well, it is the best feeling ever, as we are constantly sent again and again and again to seek aid, only to be pushed further and further and further away. I grow weary and tired of this cat and mouse game, for lack of a better term.
Says the mouse with the cat. Fair enough. Take that hero point, and now we're gonna go straight into basically where we left off. Akane, who it took a long time to find a token that looked like Big Dumb Half Giant. I think I did a pretty good job, and you guys on YouTube and on Twitch can see it. If we were on Fantasy Grounds, you'd be able to see it too, alongside the merchant whose text I took word for word from the N64 game we're playing, whose art is much lower res than everyone else's. I've joined you guys on your boat. Akane still looking very awkward and nervous. His gear that he's managed to get back up, a lot of it has outright been just like, I guess not broken so much as like beaten into a shape that like he could like, he's certainly big enough and like dude is just like wall of beef to like grab and fix it and put it back on. But basically,
I never broke it.
You sundered it?
No, I didn't. I took it off him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, it was never broken.
I remember hearing Sunder at some point. Well, never mind.
I was going to, but you said I was so fast I could just take it off. So yeah, I
Oh,
stripped the dude.
yes. That's what I remember. Now that you say so. And he's basically pulled most of his gear back on, his really crappy sword hanging at his side. He just kind of looks real awkward. Doesn't want to make eye contact with anyone. Stares off the ship while Batrin he's taken off his fishing boat and he's come to sit on your ship as Onru concentrates on the oar and guides it. Batrin still thinks this is just hilarious. It's not like he's not good at hiding anything. Tarask looks over at, like, as Tarask would scan the boat, Batrin just big man Akane back again, like this guy who is so imposing, beaten by people as small as you. The rest of the journey takes...
I frown at him at some point throughout the... Eventually, at some point, I'll get fed up with this sort of behavior and kind of look at him with a look of, stop that.
About the second or third time he giggles, I would actually look over. Because whilst it is nice to have an occasional giggle at the other's expense, when you continue to do so, when someone has been beaten, when they are around them, you yourself may be next.
Oh, I mean no offense, I'm sorry. It's just, he's so big and you're so... He kind of, like, trails off and grumbles, looking down into the water as Onru goes back to concentrating, and the ship picks up. A lot of the travel is very, very, very slow going, because most of this section of the Wandering Isles is sandbars upon islands. Most of the various islands around have some kind of sandbar running from one to the other in such a way that you will sometimes have to completely go around an island that clearly you could just, like, dismount and walk through. But though Ural's boat can simply be portaged by doing a snap, Batrin's is a little bigger. Eventually you guys come upon the town. From looking out from your boat, looks to be perhaps like 1,000 to 1,500 people. It's nice. It's definitely pretty well put together, despite the fact that it's kind of just grab all of the wood that you can and slap them together awkwardly to make buildings that look really ramshackle, but it's just the local culture. There's a big enough spot at the dock where you guys can set up, and as you do, Batrin goes to the ground and just, yes! Welcome, my friends, to Port Said! Jewel of all the Wandering Isles! He holds his hands up, like, standing in front of it with you behind him as if to, like, ha-ha! And it doesn't look like the Jewel, but it's definitely very, very different than what you guys are used to seeing. Akane continues just looking awkwardly. There are some people actually who see Akane and just, like, quickly find another thing to do.
It is most definitely a sight. I will say that much. Into this city before, though.
Yes, it is. I haven't been home in weeks. If you'll excuse me, as he's saying this, he's making his way behind the boat to his boat. I haven't seen my family. I better go tell them that I wasn't eaten by some ferocious sea monster or killed by someone guarding the town. Rows away. His boat's a lot smaller, and it's a lot easier for him to traverse.
What was the big guy's name again?
His name is Akane.
Akane. God, names just want to screw me up. Why does every TTRPG I have end up using the same exact names for multiple different characters across multiple different races and genders?
Because we're all not creative together.
I'm pretty creative. I don't know about you.
Good. That's my Tuesdays.
True. But yeah, I'm just gonna look up to Akane. Well then, what problems beset the town to cause a man like you to take such action anyway? This place seems, I kind of scan around, looks kind of calm.
Well, of course it does now. It always looks calm before trouble gets here. Then when trouble gets here, they needed people like me to defend the town. It's the honorable thing to do. And it suddenly crosses his mind that that's not presently what he's doing. But now I am here, defeated. Teach me to fight like you, little rat person. And Tarask usually, like, when associating with humans, Tarask comes up to about waist high on most of them. He comes up to about waist high on Enru. For Akane, it's like knee high. This dude is enormous.
I would advise you to fight more like her, I say, pointing to Akane. But we can certainly try and
Enru.
help. Yeah, Enru, sorry. So many people!
Yeah, story of my life.
First, do you have a home here?
I do not. I am from Minkai.
Ah.
Why did you come here of all places? No, on second thought, never mind.
Well, anyway, whilst we are here, do you mind picking up the dragon's skin and shells, please?
Of course, ma'am. And he jumps off the side of the boat and he picks up the lip of the dragon turtle shell with one hand and just kind of throws it over his back. It's not hard for him to carry it at all. He can almost, like, you imagine he can almost, like, pick it up and spin it. That's how easy it is for him to just whoop. The rest of the skin he kind of just, like, grabs up under his arm.
Well then.
Alright, so I'd collapse the boat and oar, if I could.
The oar doesn't collapse. The oar is just kind of into your inventory. But the boat is a standard action. You don't need to make a UMD or Drow Noble. You know how things work. You say the command word, and it takes about a minute for the boat to fold in on itself in such a way that it can fit in your pocket. And Akane just, what? What sorcery is this? Reaching for his sword that he knows will do nothing against any of you. The people see it. Like, people have come to, like, gather around this new arrival here in the port. And then this happens, and most of them just kind of go wide-eyed.
Relax. It is a magic item. I tuck the boat away and put the oar on my back.
Okay.
There's actually kind of like an eye roll from me. Like, goodness gracious.
I don't think the people here get out much, says Akane.
I just laugh a bit.
No. Alright.
Ah, Trusk. How much money do we have in party funds?
I would know if we had fantasy grounds. I think over 300, though.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm so on par today.
We should probably find an armorer.
Indeed.
I'd look around to see if there's anyone close about that might look like could, I could get answers from.
Yeah, you know what? There is. You look around, and people, they have a basic understanding of what magic item is. Maybe not like super magic awesome boat, but they get magic item. And they've mostly gone about their way with the exception of this older human woman. Her hair tied up, like, back in a bun, but most of her bangs still, like, falling forward. Her skin is very, very tanned, and her face is super chapped. You imagine living on the sea for her whole life and the salty air blowing across her face. She sits on a little stool with her back against a building. She sees you guys. She just, like, as you look around, you see her, and that's when she looks away. As if she had been watching.
Seems as though that person over there is interested in us. Perhaps they can assist.
Yeah, I'd walk over. Pardon me, ma'am.
Yes?
Would you be able to direct us to the nearest reputable armorer?
She puts a hand up, like, around her, under her chin as if to support it, and taps thoughtfully. Just, I suppose I could do so. You must be new in town. I recognize you, Akane. But a dark elf and a ratling, that's new here. What is your name again? I'm sorry, I don't think I caught it.
I'm Anru Kumaginja.
Are you so sure? At this point, her eyes like lock on Anru.
Staring right
Okay.
back. That's not knowledge she should have.
I'm going to take a preemptive shot here and say that you have a bit of an understanding of what our predicament is. So perhaps we should skip the whole mysticism part, because if you know what's going on, then you know we don't have much longer to live.
Skipping the mysticism, we could. I suppose the pair of you don't have much time left.
Nope.
It's a wonder you haven't gone crazy yet.
Slow look over to Akane, as if to say,
He reflexively reaches for his really, really beat up katana. And then looks at you. Do you want me to kill her? I don't know if I can. She seems very wizardy.
Relax.
No!
Chill.
That's not. No. That's not
Do
what
you
I
want to get beaten again?
No, don't attack the lady.
Okay, no attacking the lady. The lady seems completely undisturbed at this. Continues just kind of like rock on her, like on her haunches on this chair.
So, yes, skipping the mysticism, hopefully. We would like your help. Idea of what's going on. May I ask, who are you?
Who I
Introduce
am?
yourself to us.
Yes, Tarask. Is that your name? How can you be so sure?
But I've called myself my entire life.
Well, you see, I've been waiting for someone. Pair of someones. A little one and a fast one. I can't remember their names. This is around the time you notice that no one else in the town except for the pair of you and Akane seem to be aware of this woman.
I thought we were skipping the games. Yes, I am very fast, and he is a rat.
Yes. Yes, little monks, who are you? I know what you have to do. She kind of like begins like rocking back and forth, going real sing-songy. You'll be mine before I'm through, little monks.
Ah. There it is, I said. There it is. I really try to be an optimist, but I swear to goodness, the people do not make this easy.
She continues just kind of just rocking back and forth. Little monks, go to sea, pretty swords upon your knee. I'll catch up and bury thee, pretty little monks.
Just kind of like look over to Akane and say, "Can you hear her?"
Akane's eyes are pretty wide. They're about as wide as the old woman's are, like almost like shut. He is clearly scared out of his wits at this point. He still has the giant turtle shell on his back, but it's like it clack, 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 clack against his armor, and the bit that like hangs down against the floor.
I'll take that as an affirmative. I'll just kind of like tap him on the knee. All right, big boy, calm down.
He jumps higher than you thought he'd be able to.
Okay, this
Yeah.
one's of no use. Let's find someone else to direct us to the armorer.
Yep,
Okay.
and we'll just turn around and start walking towards another person to talk to.
You guys turn around. The woman continues just back and forth. Just, little monk, don't do to see. You'll choose else and stay with me. So say the words of prophecy. And as you walk away from her, you hadn't noticed how cold it was until it starts feeling warm again. You guys have moved quite a ways south from Minkai, and you're used to living on a mountain. It's not quite like truly tropical, but you guys have crossed on planet Earth, like into where the Tropic of Cancer is, to get down to these islands. So it's considerably warmer and balmy, and it hits you at this point as you walk away and turn around, and the woman is gone. Akane looks like he's about to bolt, run back into the water.
Kane,
Yes, I'm here.
relax.
What if she comes back?
Old woman. It's just a creepy old woman.
I don't know about that.
If she comes back, then we'll take care of it then. This is not the first time something like this has happened to us. You get kind of used to it after a while.
That's besides the fact. If you want to run, you run after I die.
Oh, okay, yes. I run, you die. Then I will run. But I will wait for you to die first.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, that doesn't tend to happen.
Yes, it is hard for me
Despite
to run.
her telling you to run.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, so you guys go looking around the town a little more. It's not, even before asking someone, you can hear the sounds of hammers ringing on anvils into what would be not necessarily a merchant's quarter, because the town's not that big. But there's a sort of an open air market set up in the middle. The smell of, and I'm not stealing from Ross, but we're both working with port towns here. The smell of fish hits you around the time that the sound of a hammer on something is heard. It's pretty obvious to tell who the blacksmith is. Everyone else is just kind of going about their business, buying fish, heading home.
Makes sense.
I'd head over to the blacksmith.
Alrighty, you head over. Akane follows. Just, oh, is that's the shell of it? No, a dragon turtle. He doesn't even notice you guys.
Fresh.
Doesn't even notice you guys really as you walk up so much as the material that's set down.
Akane,
Is it hard for me to see?
Is it hard for you to see?
Am I significantly shorter than all the other people?
Yeah, probably.
Akane?
Yes, little one. He throws his hand holding the shell up to whoop, and as he does so, the shell across and damn near takes out the whole stall.
Oh God! Akane, put the shell and the skin down. Pick up Taras.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could right on your shoulder, dude. I'm having some trouble seeing.
Of course, it would be my honor. The shell hits the ground. The skin kind of down the side of him. There's a faint slithery sound as it kind of just slides off him, and it's with that side of his body that Tarask is picked up.
Oh God!
With one hand around where Tarask doesn't have a nape necessarily, but that's kind of just sets you up.
I said pick me up, not strangle me.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. And he sets you on top of his head.
Looking at Taras, I really hope you know prestidigitation.
Yes.
Clean thyself. Looking to the armorer, pointing to the shell and the skin, and then to Akane, can you make that into armor for him?
Why? Oh, yes, I could. I think I could. We don't get material much like this. You, big man, can you put the shell where I can, and before he has to say anything else, Akane and Tarrasque almost has to like grab on as he just like scoops the shell up and boom onto a like sizable metal table in the back. And since they stopped letting ships in, we don't really see material like this.
If you can make him armor, whatever you deem is left over can be yours.
Ah, well, I would be willing to pay you for it, but if that's the case, then yes, by all means. Give me...
Also, do not worry about the armor, or the problem with the ships. They should be able to come back through now. The misunderstanding's been cleared.
Does that mean that they've relit the lighthouse?
No, but I can go do that next.
Yes, we will go do that next.
Ah, well, good. Very helpful lot you are. Travel through the Wandering Isles is dangerous enough without the power of the lighthouse. Ships don't really leave these days.
So, how much do you think is going to be left over from this after making the big one armor?
He looks at it, looks at Akane, up and down, looks at it. Well, I imagine, based on what he's wearing now, he'll want a full set of great armor. Fortunately for you, this was quite the large beast you took down. I imagine we could pull it off with less than half.
Oh. Less than half. All right, good. And then the rest of it being your payment would be cover enough for labor?
By all means. His eyes go wide at that.
Would you fit him out with a sword as well, a proper sword?
I think we could do that.
Well, what type of sword do you like to use? I say, looking up to Akane. Like, poking my head over his eyes.
You grab, the front of his kabuto, his helmet with the foot on the front, and grab it and just kind of lean down. This is my father's sword! And he draws his really badly made katana. Just was passed down for generations of our family. Unfortunately, he did not take care of it very well.
Is it possible for you to restore this blade? I say, looking to the blacksmith.
The blacksmith leans in real close in the blade. Akane kind of takes offense, and this guy is gone too close to his bubble. Just and
relax, Akane. Relax. He's trying to look to see if he can actually fix the blade.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am. He scared me. He's frightening. What if he's like the old woman? And he kind of just sets down the sword, kind of trembling. Tarrasque can feel it sitting on his head. It's just boop.
Remember what I said. When I'm dead is when you run.
Right, and you're alive. She's alive, right? Little one. He leans his head back as if to talk to what is above him, but what's above him is also moving backwards. Just, where did you go?
When you're moving like that, I can't. Hold on. I kind of once again just pull myself even further forward.
She's not dead. She's alive.
She's not dead. She's alive.
She's alive. You said you didn't have very long to live, though.
Only with this sickness that's affecting us. That's why we're out this way.
What sickness? I didn't know.
We'll explain more later.
Are you contagious?
You can't catch it.
Okay, good. That's very good. I have a very sensitive system. And as he's rambling on about this, the blacksmith just... I suppose I can fix this. Be better off just buying a new one, I imagine. Where did you even... That is my father's sword.
Hold on. I'd lean in and whisper to him, to the blacksmith. Make a new one. Just make him think it's the old one.
Blacksmith nods.
There's nothing to it that's magical, by the way, right? I wouldn't have detect magic pinged it.
Andrew hasn't pinged anything in a while.
No.
Wait, did we not ping anything when we went to that old woman?
You did not. And that's partially because the Drow Noble has to remember their triggers, and so do I. I'm not used to GMing for someone with a constant detect magic on. So there probably would have been a thing. But we have to both work together to remember our triggers.
True, but then again, it was just a creepy old lady being creepy.
Yeah.
That'd be alright.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not wrong to assume Akane would have just gone, creepy old lady. I'll catch old lady-itis.
I'd look up at Akane. Do you do shields?
Shield? This sword is with... He, picks back up his father's horrible katana, and though it's a one-handed weapon,
Oh, God!
it also can be held in two. We fight with two hands. Some of us use the daisho. I prefer to just simply cut them in half. Though I never have exactly done that.
Okay.
I am strong.
Oh, God.
Okay. Calm.
Oh, I just sitting up there like I'm riding some sort of mechanical bull.
Not wrong. I was pretty close.
Could you put Tarask on your shoulder, or he's going to wind up throwing up on your head?
Oh no, he's sick too. And he whip, whip.
I'm not that. That was the worst idea I've had all day.
The blacksmith takes the katana back. Just give me a day. Business has been slow since the lighthouse went out. I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Of course.
While you're making the armor and such, who would we talk to about the deal with the lighthouse?
Well, you could talk to Aman. He's the master of the port here. Hasn't let anybody in and out since the lighthouse went out. I'm surprised he let you in. It's probably because you came from the mainland. Oh, around about this time, he's probably over at the inn. Nothing else to do, so most of the sailors have just taken to, burying their problems in drink.
Oh, good. Well, come on, let's go get him, get the big one a keg of ale and us some tea.
That does sound like a good idea, I say, nodding my head.
Okay. Akane seems to agree. Just, yes, I am very thirsty from all of this scary stuff, and perhaps then you can tell me what's going on with you. And it doesn't take long for you guys to find basically the only, decent-sized building in this region. There's a crossed like a pair of swords on a coat of arms. It's over here is a fish. Over here is a glass of what you assume must be some kind of alcoholic something. It's very loud inside the room. As you guys open the door and you walk in, several in various stages of inebriation men hang about the room, dancing and singing and laughing, and in the center of them, you get a little better look at her now than when you saw her outside the city, and her hair, you almost don't recognize her. Her hair, which once was streaked with rainbows, is now, though the entirely same length and style, is just the color red. Her eyes have turned a very bright green color, and she seems to be telling some kind of story to a group of men that have gathered around her. They find it hilarious.
When I see her, I turn back to Akane. You do not mess with anyone in here.
Okay.
You are now my student. You do what I tell you to.
Yes, of course, ma'am. We'll mess with no one. Especially not the pretty lady who I let pass when you showed up.
Yes.
And then she disappeared.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Got it.
Now go sit at the bar, and we'll get you some drink.
Good. He wanders off with Tarask in tow. The chair that he chooses is...
I would hop off. I can hop off by myself.
Are you sure? I can help you! He... Boop, boop.
I got it. Jesus.
As the man he tries to sit on a stool, stops as he realizes the stool certainly will not support him, and then he grabs a second, puts them next to each other, and kind of awkwardly balances his posterior on both of the stools to make a sort of bigger chair.
Okay. How tall is this guy?
At least 7 feet tall. He is probably easily the biggest person you've seen in your entire life.
Okay, so if he was sitting, lotus position on the ground in front of a table, it would probably still be easy for him to basically use the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. In that case, I'd stop him right before we got to the bar. I'd sit like this on the ground, and then I would show him cross-leg position on the floor.
Of course, yes. I will not use these 2 chairs. I will probably break them. I am the son of a giant, after all. This gets a couple of looks.
You are too manly for them chairs.
Yes, I will slay the chairs. Hopefully they are mimics, and it will not be a waste of anyone's time. He sits down, cross-legged, and
I'd pull a table up next to him, and then basically call for the server.
Okay. You call for the server. The server breaks away from the crimson-haired woman who has basically the entire tavern wrapped around her little finger, telling stories. She's laughing along with the drunken sailors, but her laugh is not genuine. Her laugh is almost like to pull theirs out. The server comes up and just, yes! What can I get you?
Hand them the gold. Tea for myself and Tarask, I believe, and a keg of some sort for the giant.
Of course! She nods and goes back into, like, the kitchen area to get everything.
As this is going on, I'm gonna see the performance and then turn slowly to Anru and say, I'm going to go and listen in a bit, unless you wish for me to stay with your student here.
No, I'm currently needing to think of how I will be training him.
Very well, I'll look into this. And I'll, at this point, get up, and I'll just kind of walk over to the, walk over to where the crowd is. Not hiding or anything, just
waltz over there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious.
Okay. So you head over there, and this is like, as you get a little closer, you can hear her a little better over the boisterous, drunken laughter of all the men there. And just, so then there was this overly large, I don't even know, some kind of giant thing. And did you know that he wanted to stop me from coming here? Yeah. You can't travel through the Wandering Isles with your lighthouse broken, but from the mainland's not hard. I'm no sailor, and I could do it. He thought he could stop me, and no. And she, like, as she's telling the story, a dagger comes out of her, like, somewhere in her belt pouch, and she, like, draws it and, like, flips it through her fingers very dexterously, only to sheath it again, and the men just, oh, you're so talented! All, like, clearly very
I burst out
enamored.
laughing at seeing this.
She picks up on that pretty fast, and she turns in your direction, and for a second, like the splittest of seconds, when you start laughing, her hair goes from the, like, crimson it is to a very, like, dark black, and her eyes black out too. And then she, like, as if almost to, like, catch her breath, it returns shades of blues and purples, and one of her eyes is a very bright green, the other a, like, cerulean color, and just, well, I've never seen a rat folk this far from Goka before. Are all of you so handsome?
Oh, please. I kind of chuckle a bit. Thank you, you're too kind.
I know.
But... okay, then. So I presume you all are talking about the big fellow that, was stopping the, sailors, by the sense of it?
Of course. I see you've brought him with you, but I have to thank you. You appearing, you and your taller friend and your giant boat gave me all of the cover I needed to disappear.
Yeah, you did that quite quickly. You definitely have skill. Especially with the blade, by the way you're holding it. I said, just kind of like looking at it.
She continues kind of just like spinning it. Yeah, you know.
What type of blade does it look to be?
It's just a dagger.
Just a dagger?
Nothing really, like, special about it. She spins it more, just, well, you know, growing up on the streets of Chengdu, it's, one has to learn to fend for themselves pretty fast, and now here we are. You look like you could use a friend.
I mean, I am always fond of having new friends.
And she blushes a little as you say this, and as that happens, her hair, like in time with her cheeks coloring, her hair colors to about that shade as well. So do her eyes before like going back.
There's a eye raise from me? As I'm just like, huh. That's an interesting ability you have there.
Thank you. I've always been able to do it. It's just part of who I am. Well, I guess I wouldn't mind joining you. I don't know what it is you're here to do, but by your attire,
We were here to...
you're
just here...
You must be from that monastery.
Yes, we are. We were here seeking a bit of answers to a personal problem of ours.
I see.
Mostly passing through when we happened to come across a fisherman who claimed to have been stuck out of the town for days on end, and then we investigated and ran into you and Akane, and now we're here.
No, it's wonderful, isn't it? It must be fate. She puts one of her hands on your shoulder and like she's about as tall as Honor, maybe a little shorter. Leans down, hand on your shoulder, and just, well, if you'd had me, I'd love to help you with anything that you need.
There's an eye raising from Tarask. Oh please, we're not going to get into tea and sex magic today.
Not today. This isn't Rise of the Rune Lords. Also, they're both mammal.
Oh
Adam,
yeah, we wouldn't.
NIOPC crew, if you're listening. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I guess we wouldn't need it as much as that. That was a beautifully played out romance. Such a fucking weird one in terms of biology.
Accurate.
But I'm just gonna kind of look at her, raise an eyebrow, not in like a more like a sort of manner. Like, is this okay? But yes, if you'd like to come and join us, we just put an order in for a pot of tea and a cake. I say, kind of looking at Akane, who no doubt is probably already being very properly dwarven with the cake.
Can you make a reception check, Tarask?
Yeah. Just a moment. Problem is that I don't have the modifier in here the same because we're using Roll20, and this character sheet is, oh god. I remember Farron's perception far better. Could I roll that?
Yeah, that's fine. I assume Farron, being part of your imagination, is with you.
He's probably sitting by the table, just kind of watching everything.
Okay. A 31 is a very high number you have thrown at the table. Well, bam. Okay. So she leans in, the woman does. Hand on your shoulder, and Tarask doesn't see it, but Farron does see the woman's other hand come around, and like back to where your coin purse is as she pockets one of your pearls of power.
Can I just kind of turn to her and say, can I stop her before she does that?
Farron could do something. Farron sees it happening.
Yeah, but if Farron sees it, doesn't he see it?
It's two separate.
So I thought they shared vision.
He could make his own perception check, but they don't share vision now.
My perception is only like
Figments.
On here, it's I would have put ranks in it because this is a problem because I rebuilt my character.
We'll see what happens.
I actually thought they did share perception because remember when he was flying around, Tarask was having issues with seeing both places at once.
That might have been something said on Roll20. They shouldn't share their own. They might eventually share senses, but I don't think Figments get that.
Like,
anyway,
I know for
right, anyway,
with the 15, I know at the very least I have a 3 in a 3 in +3 in perception because my wisdom's now a +3, and my sorry.
Well, with your I imagine 6 ranks plus 9, so you have probably a +12, which puts you at a 27, which just doesn't. Tarask is unaware. Tarask is a little too... Tarask is aware that the drinks have arrived.
Hmm. Farron's just gonna stand up and say, "Oh, are you grabbing that for my master?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
The pearl.
This. I'm sorry. It must have slipped. You know, I came around. It's growing up on the streets. One learns certain habits, and honestly, between the two of you, you have more wealth on you than anyone in this town.
Well, I say, just kind of like...
She puts the pearl of power back where she found it.
Alright, I kind of just toss the pearls up a bit. I have been meaning to put these onto a necklace. I need to do that. Put them back in my pocket. Well, if it's of any trouble to you, we have the ability to help you. Just ask. I like to help my friends out.
Of course. I don't think I introduced myself. I'm sorry. My name is Keelan.
I am Tarask. Pleasure to meet you.
And you too, little.
I'll offer my hand.
She forgoes the hand and, scratches under your chin. Not, she's a little off kilter at this point at something she had, identified as a mark, which is also a cute and furry animal. So she's kind of, up here under the chin, just...
Nah. Well, okay. I'm just gonna kind of rub the side of my cheek, be like, what the shit was that in my head?
I'm sorry, you just... Old habits. Let's go rejoin your friend.
Yeah, come on. I'm just gonna offer her to a table. While she's talking to me, Farron's gonna look to her in Farron's normal voice, because Farron purposely sounded extra high, to be all cute and whatnot. But in his normal voice, is just gonna look to Akane. Keep your coin pals close.
Oh, yes, of course. As the woman gets too close, and he suddenly realizes he's not allowed to interact with anyone, and so he's
Akane.
You can talk with her. This is fine. She's come over to sit with us and have a drink with us.
I watched her steal from every merchant who came through my watch. Before I turned them away, she's trouble.
She may be trouble, but sometimes those of a sneakier persuasion have uses.
Yes, they do. She can unlock the doors so I don't have to get splinters in my foot when I kick them down. Though I imagine...
What are you talking about now?
You have to kick down doors sometimes when they are locked. That is what I am told. I don't...
I just laugh, out loud.
There are 7 different tricks I can do to avoid even having to physically interact with a door to get it to open.
Like what?
I just kind of flick my wrist a bit and a bit of fire appears in it.
Ugh, magic! I don't understand how that works. I know you have magic. I know that. I just don't know how to do it. I know
lots of study.
I am very strong.
Lots of studying.
It's okay.
Is that what we're doing now?
I can teach you.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
No. Right now, we're getting you comfortable.
I see. And this is around the time the drinks make it back. They make it back around the same time that Tarask and Keelan do. And Akane just, takes the barrel pretty... he can't just... He's not that big. But, he, bear hugs the barrel and leans, his head forward, his body back in such a way that he can kind of tip it over. Just, this is good. Good. Now, what is wrong with the pair of you?
Well, looking to Tarask and then to the other lady over there. Looking to Tarask again. Are you sure we want to share all of it?
Well, I look to Akane. Forgive me for assuming this, Akane, but I do not presume you have a lot of magical inclination.
Nope. It's too difficult. I don't understand
and
how
I look
it
over
works.
to I look over to our new friend here. And are you versed in the matters of the arcane or divine or any of that nature?
I do what I can. You pick up a thing or two here and there, you know. Sometimes you get lucky when you're trying to survive and you rob a spellcaster and he has a scroll and maybe a spell book or two and maybe some of the spells, and she pulls out a spell book. In this are a little difficult for me right now, but she reaches out.
Look?
Yeah, you can. She reaches out her hand and snaps her fingers at like the glass that has been poured for her of tea, and she pulls it like to her with a very practiced, if shaky, mage hand before downing it.
Excellent. You certainly have the basics down. I just kind of flip through the book a bit. What's the highest level spell it has?
3rd.
Oh, I could cast something of this matter.
All right, here we go again.
It would take me a bit of time to copy. Oh my god, am I gonna have to roll again? Because Farron is watching her.
Yeah. Also, the book contains... I'll start giving stuff to Audru, too, I promise. But the spellbook has 8 level 3 spells of Tarask's choice that he does not already know.
Oh my god!
RNGesus is pleased with you.
Okay.
Audru will get something.
So,
Also, Onru,
No, cool.
on the
It's
subject
cool.
of Onru, Keelan radiates a very faint transmutation aura.
okay. I'd focus on it for 3 rounds to identify it.
Okay, it's the closest identifying anything you get is prestidigitation, but it seems to be permanent, and rather than something that Keelan can control, it seems to match her mood. Presently, as she makes her way back, her hair is the bright crimson that everyone who sees the token can see, which seems to be like the default, but when she's trying to project like the cool confidence, it changes to cooler colors. The same is true with her eyes.
Okay. Well, looking to her and then back to Akane. Well, the short form of it is, when we were born, there was some mix-up, and we did not get our naming ceremony. Therefore, we are nameless and dying.
Well, not dying. I say, kind of looking over to you. It's more complicated than that, because, of course, it is more complicated than that.
Well,
Master.
magical mumbo-jumbo, yes.
By the Great Master, nothing is simple in the world. I say, just kind of like closing the spellbook. Also, how many are there second and first level spells on that?
Fine. They're definitely logically.
It's a wizard spellbook.
2 level 2 spells
Yeah.
you don't know. 1 level 1 spell.
I mean, can I just put the level 1 into the 2 because I already have like 30 something level 1s?
Nope, find a new one.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
It's important.
This is also where I was gonna quickly ask you one thing.
Yes.
Upcoming, you know how I'm gonna go Mystic Theurge and Magnus? It's kind of my upcoming thing. Spells I get as wizard ones, like 2 out of my spellbook, because I could use the spellbook for both my Magnus and my wizard spells, and I wouldn't get spells from Mystic Theurge for whatever because of the way it works.
Yeah, you don't actually get new spells with Mystic Theurge for some reason. You just
Unless
get the
you're
ability to cast
spontaneous.
more. Yeah.
I see.
Or cleric, yeah, you just get more casting. Like a wizard would still have to. At that point, I'd have to buy all of my spells that I would know.
Fair.
We could talk about this more in length later.
Yeah,
I just want to
let me look how the class works, and we'll go from there. I've never played a Mystic Theurge, I don't know. But anyway, so Onru says what Onru says, and Keelan seems to grasp it pretty well. Just, yeah. That happened to some elven man not too long ago. They talk about it in Shingdo. I guess he destroyed an entire town.
Yes, well, apparently being without a name will either kill you or drive you insane, and we're trying to make sure that it does not do either.
Akane's eyes are just as big as the keg at this point. Just, this is very, yes. I will help you in your quest. He puffs his chest out. I am strong and I am brave, and I think possibly you can teach me how to fight. I will uphold my family's honor.
How to be a warder. It's not something I'm particularly good at, but I know the maneuvers at least. Pats him on the arm.
Good enough for me.
So, yes, you'll be very good at defending and hurting things. Looking over to the lady. Well, if you plan on coming, just think of it this way. If we don't succeed and we die, you'll have plenty of things to loot when you run away.
That's a fair point.
Well, he's a pragmatist, I just mutter.
Well, that is the way of the Underdark, so.
I'm not disagreeing with you,
I've
but
never
just
seen
the
a dark elf
pragmatist.
before.
Well, pray you don't actually.
Yes?
Pray I'm the only one you ever see. They're not very nice.
That's what they say. Well...
And you certainly don't help with that. You certainly don't help with that stereotype, Honor, to be honest, at times.
Well, things keep messing with us, so things need to die.
I mean, fair, but still, God.
Why are you two out in the Wandering Isles anyway? Is there something out here that can name you? Both of you are certainly...
There is, actually. I say, kind of closing the spellbook I'm looking through, and I will need to share with you what that has in it. It has some useful stuff. But there is, you two know of Qi Shang, correct?
Of course.
The Great Master? Aye. Well, we went to his school not too long ago and spoke to the Master of Water, and in the hope that she would be able to cure us of our illness. At that time, we thought it was still just some sort of curse or something of that matter that was consume us. Unfortunately, as is the case with most at the times we tried to figure out this problem, it wasn't what we thought it was, and we were told to go find someone else. In this case, we are now seeking the Master of Wind, who, last we heard, had come out to the Wandering Isles.
Ah, I see.
Some sort of pilgrimage or something of that matter. I do not remember. Do we ever find out the exact reason why he was out here?
Pilgrimage is pretty accurate. Seeking
Okay,
solitude. Also, the in the wake of events that you guys didn't learn that much about, a lot of the school has low-key started to break up.
Yeah, I've gathered that much by the fact that the teacher of fire kind of fell out and then all that stuff. And
everyone seems to have just kind of like gone out with him. Ardra wasn't very forthcoming with the information except that Cradog is here.
Yeah.
Looking to Tarask, knowing our luck, the wind person's going to tell us to go see the fire person, and the fire person's going to go see tell us to go see the earth person.
I was expecting the fire person to more so kill us, to be honest, or try to kill us.
Well, see, that's why we beat them down until they're almost dead, and then they tell us to go see the earth person.
That's not the way of the masters, but okay.
If they attack us first, it is the way. It's the way of mess with me, you get dead.
A fine way.
There's a shrug from me. Very well.
So Keelan leans forward into putting her elbows down on the table as you guys are saying all this, and just, well, if you two really don't have a name, that probably explains what all the Clippeth are doing on the mainland. People don't really talk about it, aside from quiet whispers in a place like this, but travel in Tianxia is not really that safe these days. Sure, everyone has to deal with bandits, pickpockets. She says pickpockets, and her eyes roll, and as they roll, the kind of like her whole setup kind of just runs full RGB for a second.
Dragon turtles.
Yeah. But not creatures from the abyss.
Are you gonna make me go back with you when I inevitably figure out how to make us breathe underwater to find your damn kumai or whichever weapon it was you lost?
Kukri, and yes.
Oh my god,
yes.
You really... It's just kind of a rubbing on my forehead. Because it's not a look of, oh, this is stupid. It's more so a look of, oh, we are going to have to do this later.
I can wait until after we're not dying.
It's safer underwater.
Thank you. That is
much safer underwater than to be on the road. They clip it, they're clearly looking for someone.
That probably might be us.
I suggest we hurry.
Yeah, well, lots of weird people keep coming after us. I mean, we tend to either just walk around them, walk away from them, or in Honor's case, kill them. So, we tend to have been fine up till now. But
Pulling my my torch from my back, which lights up when I pick it up, spin it so that the torches become scythes when they move.
Mhm.
Well, it is exactly what I do with this thing, and put it back on my back.
It's around this time that the door opens again and Batrin comes into the tavern and just, can't do anything in this town. Let me go back out to the sea, but it's dangerous out there.
Oh, hello, Batrin.
Yes, little one. Big one.
Come, have a drink with us.
Of course, of course. And a man is walking alongside him, about his build, perhaps a little wider. Seems to have nicer clothes on than anybody in the port.
Oh no.
Flag the server back down.
Well, gentlemen, this is Aman. He runs the port here.
Oh, good.
Oh.
I think we were supposed to talk to you about what's going on with the lighthouse.
Of course. And talk we will,
Here,
lads.
Come have a drink with us if you have the time. I say, kind of like offer him.
They sit down on the table, Batrin, like, as far from Akane as the table will allow. And that is where we're going to cut it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry, Fantasy Grounds is going to be bad for the next few ones on Podbean and YouTube, but we're getting there. Gonna figure it out tomorrow. Fantasy Grounds is really cool. I like the software, but there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through, and when hardware changes, it changes everything else. Anyway, excuse me.
Not to bash on you, Tommy, but you're not the best when it comes to computer
I'm
things.
not. No, I'm not. Do you hear that sound? That's my fan that I need to replace. It's my legs are sweating right now.
Oh,
It's
Jesus Christ, man.
because my computer's a little loose. I don't know how hardware works very much. I'm charisma based. I'm not intelligence based. I've always had someone in my life to like do my computer stuff for me, and I would just like give them a little bit of extra money on top of parts. Now I have to figure it out myself and be an adult. But like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.